Alright, we're live again.
Okay.
I don't know why it's having so many issues.
Are we live again? I don't see a...
It'll take a minute,
Okay.
I think.
I'm just saying on your live page, trying to wait for one to...
What was that? Let me check. Robert Dudley has subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing.
So, to finish my thought on playing Shining Force 3 entirely blind, you'll obviously miss some characters.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think it's a big deal, because I was looking through the character list to be like, how many of these will you actually have no clue how to get if you don't use a guide? And a lot of the optional characters in 3 are very much like, if you look around, you'll find them. There's a couple that are really awkward. Like, there's 2 or 3 that I'm looking at. There's at least 1 or 2 in each scenario where I'm like, he will entirely miss these.
Because they're just so... not...
There's like, so you're able to walk into like NPCs and you can kind of shove them around in 3. There's one guy who you recruit by shoving him across a city into your HQ, for instance. So there's a couple of really obscure ones where it's like, you are not going to realize this. Or there's one that literally you have to walk into an out of bounds area through a wall to recruit. And that's just the way you're supposed to do it. So there's a few that you're 100% gonna miss. The main thing that I think about doing 3 without a guide is, are you familiar with the ruins in Shining Force 3 at all?
No.
So a number of battles in Shining Force 3, probably like 4 to 6 in each scenario, have these like ruins that will pop up on the map, and you're able to send your units into this sub-map of ruins, where there's a bunch of generally like really good loot. Like, some of the best weapons for classes and stuff are in these, but you're racing thieves that are also in the ruins to collect them, and a lot of them are very literally, unless you do every turn properly, you will fail to get them.
Hey, Captain.
So it's like, that was the one thing I used a guide for in 3, where it was like, I need guides for the thief maps to tell me how to get stuff. You can do it without them, but you're gonna miss out on a lot of really good items and myth rules and stuff.
I don't care about items as much as characters. Like, if you spoil where an item is...
I will say the character join, like, things... There's a page on character join conditions on the Joomson.org website, and it's a relatively spoiler-free list of how to get the characters.
I don't know if I even want to...
But it will show you who they are and stuff, which can spoil a couple.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know anything.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Going in blind will be a really interesting experience. Because I use the guide to tell me how to get everyone. I still missed a character, actually.
I'm only going to get to play it totally blind once, is kind of my thought.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I didn't mind for SF2 because I had already played it a little bit, and I had already seen the character list, so I was like, that one's kind of unavoidable, just hanging out.
I do think one benefit you have on trying to do 3 blind is so few people have played it, not many people can backseat you into getting them.
That's true. That's true.
Like, nobody in my audience had a clue of anything about Shining Force 3. And that was part of why I had a guide, because I wanted to not miss things, and I knew no one in my chat would be able to help me. But I don't know. I think playing it blind would be good.
I'm still trying to wait, too, until, like, people find their way to the new stream. We got 4 in here.
Yeah,
and we were at, like, 11, so I'm like...
Yeah,
YouTube, in the way that it handles streams, is not the best.
But yeah, I think there's only a few characters that are, like, it'll be super impactful to miss. And a lot of them, like I said, the game clues you in pretty well on a lot of the characters, if you use, like, a little bit of critical thinking. There are a couple that are... all I will say is, like, for a few of them, just really pay attention to the setups for certain battles and dialogue around it, because often they'll say things that you actually do want to do in the battle. Like the situation here where it's like, don't kill Ray.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, maybe it'd be a good idea to not kill this person, it's probably a good idea to not kill that person.
Yeah, it's not like in Onderon Saga, anything like that is highlighted in red as like the, hey, this is a meta thing, I'm telling you, don't do this. Or do this.
Like, they'll make a note of it, but it's not going to explicitly tell you.
Yeah, which I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Emblem 1 does that, or at least Shadow Dragon does, that there's times that, you know, Marth or Jagan will be like, I think that they might have reinforcements coming from the east in a little while. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, you're definitely 100%. You're 100% going to miss the best archer. Because he's the one you have to walk out of bounds for. And then you have to do another jank thing to recruit him. There's one character who you'll lose based on a story decision, where you're given like a yes/no question, and one of the answers gets you a character, and the other one you'll just lose them entirely.
Ooh.
And it's not obvious. Well, that's in scenario 3. There's one scenario 2 you'll definitely miss, because if you aren't like looking at thief map spoilers, you're probably gonna miss them.
Do we want to? I don't know. I'm like, if we stalled enough, should we move on?
I don't know. We've got 5 people in here, so
okay.
Maybe everybody who wasn't just lurking has found their way in.
Hopefully. I know some people keep it running too when they go to sleep.
Yeah,
which I very much appreciate. We back? We're back.
Yeah,
Griff.
we're back.
Sweet.
It's just so annoying. We have to change like URLs. We have to start a new stream every time.
Yup. YouTube will get its act together one day.
You can tell yourself that.
I will. I don't know. I still am like, the amount of time I spend watching YouTube, like, so many different kinds of things. Like, I still really like YouTube.
Yeah, I mainly don't like the live.
Yeah.
And I don't like some of the ways they handle content moderation.
I don't either, but I
also don't like that about Twitch, because you just go look at the just chatting category.
I think Twitch is far worse.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people banned that shouldn't be, and
there's a lot of people not banned that should be.
Yeah, depending on, like, I'm very, very, like, my free speech. That's very me. But also, it is kind of like, do you want to run an adult website or do you not? I'm
also like, this is a website that allows 13-year-olds.
Yes. I think they need to make a decision and stick with it. Like, yeah, it's very... Yeah, we did see that, Griffin. Yeah, Captain did just sum it up. Like, like, it's crazy to me that they still do trailers for games coming to Switch online. Like, I get it when it's part of a bigger thing on like a Nintendo Direct. It's like, you know, it's a little sugar, little glaze on top. That's like, also you can play Zelda easier, I guess. But it's weird when you look at some of the standalone trailers that are like, you know, we added 3 games to NES Online. NES Tennis is one of them. Here's Pong. And it's just like, why? Like, I think the view count speaks for itself. That it's like, people are not excited about this. Alright.
On the other hand, it does kind of motivate me to maybe play Golden Sun sooner, because people will have it in their minds. If I'm going to stream it, I mean.
Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of why I played Fire Emblem 7 when I played it. Like, I didn't play it on the Switch release, but it was like, they just released on Switch, it's relevant.
Is it?
I mean, it got me viewers who were not, like, originally viewers of mine. So it did draw in some number of people, whether it was because of the announcement or just people were looking for Fire Emblem at the time. You know, it did get viewership.
Yes.
I hate to be meta, but when it's a game I already have some interest in playing, it doesn't feel disingenuous.
I don't think it is. I mean, there's very much a reason I started playing Onderon Saga when it dropped. Like, I think that, like, you and I, as content creators, have to pay attention a little bit.
Yeah, like, if something is in my wheelhouse and it's relevant, then I should play it.
Yeah, I've got a couple that I've got lined up. Like, Goblin Slayer, the anime, is making an SRPG, and it's like, I will
Really?
Yeah. I will probably play that on launch.
I don't really care about the anime, but, I mean, I'm curious what they'll make.
I watched season 1 to... Essentially, the SRPG gave me the push I needed to be like, alright, I want to know what I'm talking about when this skit comes out. But do I... Like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream that on YouTube, given the content of the original. Like, the source material.
Yeah. I'm curious how it, like... Yeah. I'm curious whether it will be cleaned up at all for the game or not.
Part of me hopes not, because I think that you shouldn't change what something is too much, but we'll see what it's rated when it comes out.
No, but also, how do you directly translate that to a strategy RPG anyway? So you're gonna have to change something. Like, you already have to do some adaptation work.
Yeah, you are. It says it comes out February 29th.
That's pretty soon. I hadn't heard about this at all. I guess I don't care about the show, so that probably is why I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to come out sooner and then got pushed back. But that is 9 days after my birthday, so I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing for my birthday.
That's a good question.
FE7 is on Switch? Yes, it's on the Switch Online thing. I think that the Japanese Switch has, like, a lot more of them on there. I think they have, like, Fire Emblem 1 and stuff, and we don't. They might have the other previous Fire Emblem, what's that, 6, I guess? The one with Roy.
Could be. I mean, they're not gonna translate games just to release them on Switch online, is what I feel like.
I mean, I would agree, but we got Star Fox 2, which was a thing that we had never gotten before. So I'm like, I don't know.
An RPG is a lot more translation work, but maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if Star Fox 2 was a translation job either. I don't know if that was even out. Like, at all. Like, it was something that they worked on and then never put out or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Goblin Slayer. I haven't seen the full main series, but I've seen a first few episodes and the abridged by Grimjack, and that is hilarious. I didn't know they had made it abridged. I'll have to check it out. If South Park can make 2 games that are RPGs and maintain the spirit of the show, anybody can. Strong argument. Yes, but...
On the other hand, it's different when you're adapting something that does have a story.
Star Fox 2 technically wasn't the Switch, it was SNES Mini. Yes, thank you for the correction.
I think with South Park is more a style and a humor thing, and that maintains the spirit of it if that's what you're trying to make.
Yes, I think that Goblin Slayer is going to bump into the fact that it gets really visceral in a way that is not accepted in gaming, but is accepted in other things.
I mean, to a degree, it's already a series that's had controversy because of its content as an anime.
Yes. And
I can only imagine they'll run back into the same problem, if not more, in the gaming sphere.
I'm sure they will, but I don't know. I'm just like, I'm going to be there to support it because it's a very large name that is making an SRPG, and I want to encourage more of that.
Who's it made by? Do you have any idea?
I don't. Hey, Songs. Yeah, YouTube makes us change the URL every time the stream dies. So if I ever just disappear and I didn't end, that's what the deal is. I can see who it's made by. I don't know if it's made by anybody that, like, we would know. From publishers Bushiroad Games.
I know Bushiroad is the maker of Vanguard, the card game, but I don't know anything about their video games.
I'm peeking real fast because the article I clicked on had a link to it. Console, it has Macross Shooting Insight comes out soon, Crayon Shin-chan, The Storm Called, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid burst forth. There's the Goblin Slayer one. It says they have 6 console games, and 2 of them are coming soon.
Huh, okay.
There's also a tab for mobile. Do they have more? They have 5 mobile games. I've heard of Love Live. It's like an idol thing. It's huge. I don't know really about it more than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's live, not live, because it's an idol thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. And then there's...
It's secreted, not secreted.
I don't know. The idols thing is not for me. I've seen
yeah, it's
enough
not
to
something
know
I've ever been into either.
it ain't for me.
I would probably recognize some of the character designs if I saw them, just because I've seen people post stuff about it, but yeah, I've never been into it. I wouldn't know them by name or anything.
Goblin Slayer's quite good, and its game looked a bit mid. We've only gotten, like, 1 trailer of it, like, a year before it's coming out, so I'm not judging too hard. Quick pronounce that one? Oh, no.
Leave.
Live Alive? Is that how they want you to do it? I actually have that one sitting, like, right here. Is that in camera? Yeah, it is. Hey! I still need to finish that. I got most of the way through it. I had to get my fix from somewhere else, like my Unwind games, so that was one of the ones I picked up for that. Let's start the last level. I think everybody's here that's gonna get here. Are we ready? I don't think we need more. Actually, I was saying we don't need more spells. How much health does the final boss have? Is it stupid?
You want to know?
Yeah.
12,000.
That's not that bad. That's way less. Isn't it?
I mean, the last boss of the other run was 18,000. We fought this boss in the previous storyline, and this was the first of this battle took forever.
Okay, let's do it. Chapter 17, Decisive Battle. This is the end of Route B.
Yep.
Red, you are finally here. I haven't seen you for more than 10 years. Like Ray, you have grown up.
Hutch, I remember that you colluded with the demons for your own selfish reasons, come to usurp the throne, causing destruction of my family. I will seek justice from you today.
In order to get the power of the royal family's secrets, you actually let Dis change my memory, and you wanted to make us brothers kill each other in order to reap the benefits. The power of it. If my memory hadn't been restored, I'm afraid your conspiracy would have succeeded. The causes and consequences of some things are not what you think. Still, since you have come here today, let us make a break.
I was trying to think of anything to say, and I couldn't think of anything. Let us put an end to this. I have no idea.
I'm assuming that's what it was. Let's finish this or something. But
let's make a break.
Yeah, I wondered how you were going to handle that. No, it's not the long hallway map, thank God.
No, it's the one that was before the long hallway. That also took like an hour and a half, because he's got 12,000 HP. Darkness only had 5,000 at the end of the hallway. It was just the hallway that was bad.
Oh my, it's so bad. It's alive. Yeah, I have no idea. Bro, your channel is not monetized, so what do you do for a living? I take care of the elderly. That is my job. I'm lucky at this point that I do have some memberships, and I very much appreciate the members. And some people make donations, and that's also very much appreciated and helps fund the channel. But yeah, my primary thing is that I take care of the elderly. Are we just walking? Yeah, we're just... Oh, it's this. Okay. No, they come to us, and we hold up on the stairs. I remember this.
Yep, this one.
Okay. This is not too bad. This is not...
No, I think there were a few mages that were a pain, but that was it.
Yeah, I wasn't, like, pulling my hair out. Yeah, if this would have been the long hallway map, I would have been like, wow, what a way to end the game. For those of you that didn't go back and watch that VOD, I don't blame you. It was a hallway that was like 1 tile by like 50 tiles and like zigzagged all over the place and was supposed to be like a big labyrinth or something, but it was just awful. I had to move Sonic through that entire maze like 3 tiles at a time. Now, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this full time or not. Like, probably not, because not for a long time anyway, because there's people that, I kind of compare myself to the Fire Emblem community, in that, like, how feasible is it for them to do it for a living, and very few of them do it for a living, having done this for a very long time. So, and even then, the ones that do it for a living, it's not a, like, they don't have a lot of money, so I don't care about money that much, but, like, I'd like to have kids at some point, and it's like, could I raise kids with that income? I have no idea. Good night, Griff. Thank you for coming out. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure to slap like on this video if you haven't already, now that we've reset it.
It's like punching in for work. You show up to Niall's stream, you hit the like button.
I would like that. I thought there were going to be 100+ enemies for the last map. No, in the other route, it wasn't 100+ enemies. It was just really annoyingly placed casters.
Yeah, so I find a little bit lame that the final 4 maps of this route are all maps that appear in the other route, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, the first 4 were totally unique maps, and then these 4 are just the same in both.
Yeah, it's also something that, like, it definitely feels to me like the B-plot, or, like, the non-canon ending that Hutch is the final boss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel like we're resolving everything.
No, because, like, he just said, like, oh, we're gonna unleash the great evil god, and, well, we're fighting Hutch.
Yeah, that was a bit odd.
So I'm curious to see what the last cutscene is going to resolve.
Me too. Me too. And I wonder if they're going to do, like... I wonder if we're going to get another secondary scene like we did last time with characters that we didn't expect one from.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Because if you guys remember the ending of route, the canon route, there was like a weird, almost after credits kind of scene with Lena and Wright. And we talked about it in a different stream that I don't feel like they're the main characters or anything, or that plot relevant, so it was kind of strange to, like, have them. Like, to feel like you needed a final word from them was odd. But I don't know. We'll see how it ends. I also, like, there's definitely some parallels with Kain from Shining Force, I think, and Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is a very similar dynamic, I think. And I think that's fine. Like, it is very Shining. I'm trying to decide if I like how this is handled more. It's a little bit sad that, how did the Black Dragon Emperor, or whatever, King, how did his story end in the other route? Like, did we, because we never found his brother.
Well, I mean, we found him, we just killed him.
Is that what happened?
I mean, he's a Black Dragon King both times, I'm pretty sure.
I think so, but I'm like, did we just kill him? And, like, I don't remember Rhett having, like, a I'm gonna do this for you, brother, or anything like that.
Oh, no, not at all. I don't think he realized he fought his brother.
That was kind of what I was thinking, because I don't think we saw that portrait. Like, at all.
No.
Also, that was really funny that their boss just kind of ran up on me and got deleted.
I mean, he just gets killed, says, how is it possible I'd be defeated by these lowly people? I'm an elite selected by God. Or
Yeah.
possibly the gods, you know, being an Asian language and plurals might not be explicit. Beforehand, he's just talking about, like, they recognize, oh, he's the Black Dragon King, he's got the sword and the armor, there's super powerful weapons possessed by the demons. It seems that this guy is Hutch's subordinate on the surface, but he is actually a demon. I don't know if he's actually supposed to be a demon this route, or if they just, like, misidentify him.
I'm gonna go with... No, I'm gonna go with that's still his brother, and we just didn't know in that route. Which is interesting. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a there's a canon route, but it's kind of like it doesn't feel like there's, like, the true route, you know?
Yeah.
The one that, like, satisfies everything.
The only dialogue he has before we kill him is, "Have you finished talking? Lady Darkness told me told me to try my best to prevent you from entering the palace, but I think it would be much easier to just kill you all. You're quite courageous. Based on your words, I'll cut you into 8 pieces."
We also didn't find Lady Darkness in this.
Nope, she's just not part of the story here in this route.
Which I get, this is the non-canon one, but it's kind of like, well, what was she doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, I mean, we find out it's Rey before the route split.
Do we?
So, Chapter 7, Trial, the one where you have to survive or die, Rhett runs into it, "Is this a phantom? But so real." And he says, "Fool, what a stupid thing to say. I'm your elder brother, Rey."
Oh.
And then Rhett says, "This isn't an illusion, and I feel an inexplicable sense of intimacy from him."
Yeah.
So it's like,
handled
and
weird.
it's all the stuff he says is to manipulate him, but like it leaves it ambiguous there whether or not it's really his brother or whether he's someone pretending to be him to trick him. But I think it makes the most sense that it is him, but he's like mind controlled or whatever.
Yeah, it's very strange. Hey, BC Dragon, I'm glad you made it. We are in the last level of the game Flame Dragon Knights, which is like a Chinese developer that was very inspired by Shining Force. We've got like translations and stuff, and that's how we're doing this, like on a second screen. But yeah, you can feel free to ask like any Shining question, and the chat and I've got you, I promise. Can you guys recommend me a JRPG with a really dark story? I'm trying to think like what I would recommend. You have anything come to mind for you, Tyadran?
I don't play a lot of really dark games, so not really. Trying to think.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
No, and especially like JRPG, because all I'm thinking is like, well, I found the story of Kingdom Hearts 358 quite tragic when I was 14, but it's not like dark. It's just very tragic. It's not really a JRPG. I mean, I guess it is. I guess when people say JRPG, I inherently think of more turn-based, so it's not really accurate.
Yeah, it's not a great name for a genre.
It's not even really a genre, it's just any Japanese RPG.
Yeah. Is Robert the guy for spoiler-free content? Yes. Yes, I was talking about you before that, because I saw your Discord message and was like, yeah, I remember that. And we were talking about how we don't have, the community hasn't really made, like, spoiler-free guides, which it kind of feels like maybe we should do that.
Yes, there are missable characters in every Shining Force game.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Shining Force 2 has fewer than Shining Force 1, but there are a number of them. Shining Force 2 has about the same number of optional characters, but there's that set of 4 characters that aren't really like missable in the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like we'll give you we'll be as vague as you want, or like
yeah, I'm trying to be as vague as possible because I don't even know if you want to hear like the names of characters or places that exist, kind of thing. Not that you have any context for it, but
yeah,
I respect your desire to not know as much as possible.
Let's see. I'm surprised how like good Wright has been on this playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm throwing him at the front lines and he's just dodge tanking everything.
He's been surprisingly good.
And his damage, I feel like, is higher than it was in the other route.
Mm-hmm.
That is the perfect Lena kill. You know, it's funny, there's times that, like, I tune into YouTubers I like, and I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like, what is that game? And I realize that is definitely me with this. Like,
yeah. Is definitely you.
Like, I don't get it. Why are you playing this?
Yeah, that's very pot calling the kettle black kind of vibes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm also not saying, like, it's bad, but...
Yeah. But you're definitely the exact same guy where people show up and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, I don't understand the desire to play this. Names are cool. It's not like I'm gonna see them anytime soon. Okay. Like, I don't know how much detail you want on, like, how you, like, find characters and stuff. Like, that's kind of what we were getting at.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, like, you need an item to get this guy. Don't leave this area before you find this item, that kind of thing. If you want that. There's some that, like... I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody... There's nothing, like, in Shining Force 1. I don't think there's an equivalent to, like, Hanzo.
In Shining Force 2?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's quite that archaic. Hanzo,
I mean, there's kind of the Arm of Golem, but
yeah,
it's not that bad.
Never mind. No, that's definitely that archaic, because I don't think that's marked by anything. That's definitely you need to know it's there.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. And yeah, Screech is also pretty bad.
Yeah. Kiwi,
so there's a couple.
Kiwi you'll find on your own.
Well, Kiwi is if you waste time looking around in a story segment where you're supposed to not be wasting time.
That's true.
The narrative tells you don't hang around. You'll find him easily if you search the whole area, but the narrative is telling you you don't need to, and he's not available earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Do I want to sub right now? Probably not. I think I'll just wait for them to approach.
Who else there is? I don't know the two casts as well, so I have to think.
Yeah.
All the characters I'm thinking of are the ones you have to get.
Mm-hmm. That might be it.
Those might be the only really bad ones. There's some other optional ones, but it's like May is like you'll just see her walking around, go talk to her.
Yeah, you'll find her pretty easy if you just talk to people. It's like Diane in Shining Force 1. Like, I guess you could miss Diane. Maybe.
I think you have to talk to Diane.
Oh, maybe you do.
I think she's required before you can go to the mine.
Oh, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I don't remember explicitly if it's talking to her mom or talking to her that sets the flag that lets you go there, but I think you have to talk to her.
I think her mom says talk to her first.
Yeah. So I think she's required, even though, like, Xylo isn't.
Sheila.
Who's Sheila?
She is the master monk. I don't know if
I thought she was required.
She might be.
Because I thought you have to have that cutscene with Astral and everybody.
I think so. That was hard to find, though.
It's hard to find, but I think it's actually required.
Another thing that's in Shining Force 2 that isn't in Shining Force 1 is there's items that promote you to different classes, and some of those are pretty, like, search this wall with, like, no indication that there's anything there.
And the mithrils.
Yeah, there's also Mithril that you can get that lets you craft things.
Yeah, both
And
of those are pretty egregious.
That's another one that it's like, there's no reason for you to like look in this area, but like look in this area.
Yeah.
Search this
Here's the
wall
point where
that
Leah
has
does
nothing.
no damage.
Yeah, her and Sonic are both about to let it rip. Hi there, Derek Ho's Corner 2013. Quite a name.
Yeah, talk to her mom to get her. I was just talking about I wasn't sure whether you could skip getting her.
The one I was thinking of was the Vigor Ball in Shining Force 2. Like the I think it's the final one.
I found the wing
your, what's it called? Your healers to a different class.
Yeah.
Like that one was stupid.
I found the wing without a guide, but I did have my chat tell me the wing is on this map. And then it was just like, I search every wall. You know, it was not because like, oh, I intuitively thought I should look at this random wall. It was, I was told, hey, it's in this area. And then I just went looking at everything. I have not played Shining Soul at all.
I haven't either. I will at some point on the channel because we're gonna do every Shining game at some point. And I've heard good things.
Man, did we miss 2 of those?
What? Yeah, yeah.
2 of the targets. That's lame.
It is.
I wonder if Ray can use magic. We probably should have checked.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he could not.
Okay, got it.
It didn't seem like Rep could either in this route.
I thought we had magic on him already.
We don't. We do.
We don't?
We do.
I was like, I thought we did.
I'm dumb.
I remember explicitly buying a bunch of magic for him.
You're right, you're right. How do I want to shift this? You can probably move up. You don't take damage much. I'll shift you over there. I'll shift you this way. I would like to kill this guy before he reaches us. I think we can.
That would be neat.
There we go.
Oh, especially if we double. Lena could have gotten him otherwise.
There we go. Yeah, I think she could have finished him, but she's not doing a ton right now.
Are there better characters to use over others? Yes. And
Yes.
Kiwi's the best. No. That was entirely facetious.
For both Shining Force 1 and 2, yes, but also, like, I would just tell you play with the characters that you want to. Like, I think that's by far the best experience.
Yeah, I think the characters that are, like, really bad, you will find out just by trying them that they are bad, and you will naturally stop using them.
Or you can grind the ever-loving crap out of them to eventually make them
Don't trick
useful.
him into using Adam.
I mean, it's not a trick. I just had to grind for,
It's
like...
a trick. You can grind him up and he will still be hot garbage.
He was alright when I did my Legacy of the Ancients playthrough on the channel, and it just took me 5 hours of grinding off stream to make him not...
Does Legacy of the Ancients leave his stats untouched? Because his stats in the base game are not good.
Yes, they do. I literally was doing 1 damage over and over. Like, I was just doing it because I wanted to, because I thought it would be interesting for the video, because a lot of people never use him.
For good reason. Let's be real.
Like,
he's bad. He's really bad.
I did the irony fight in this game and, like, made it all the way back off stream. There is no suffering that's too great for me to do for you guys. I did another really painful one, and he knows this, so, like, I'm not worried about hurting his feelings, but in Telepath Tactics RPG Chapter 2, I wanted to do, like, the villain ending. I literally did grinding in that game for, like, a month or something. It was stupid. And yeah, I've talked to the dev. He knows that I was not impressed by the difficulty curve on that.
I wonder... No, there's no way it's possible. Never mind.
Oh, what? You gotta finish that now.
I was wondering if it would be possible to complete Shining Force 1 with a force of all Jogurts. but I don't think you would be able to. The odds would be so abysmal that casters would consistently not cast and would miss their attack.
Now, see, is it possible? Yes. Because you would eventually, like...
It's like, you could TAS it, yes.
The RNG would eventually line up, but the... Oh god, that's not good. Ultimately, like, because I've seen people do that, like, kind of challenge thing for Fire Emblem. Like, can you beat this game with 1 health on every character? And it's like, yeah, but, like... I don't know. I have mixed feelings about stuff like that, because it's like, are you gonna just RNG abuse? Because then, absolutely. If you're not gonna RNG abuse, I ask, is that a good use of your time? Because we both know, yes, if you get the RNG to line up. So it just kind of is a thing that I'm mixed on. Like,
I think...
If you bash your face into the brick wall long enough, yes.
See, I don't think that that's actually the case for those kind of Fire Emblem challenge runs. Like, there tends to be a little RNG into it, but a lot of the ones I've actually watched are much more interesting figuring out how to play around the limitation rather than hoping for RNG to line up. And a lot of them lead to really interesting play styles you would never see in a regular playthrough, but not just, like, RNG/mechanic abusing.
I've heard
so...
we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I agree with that, like, yes, there is a level of, like, it's fun to find, like, new ways to play because of that, but, at the same time, you're always, like, if you're not gonna lose people, the enemy's gonna attack you at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's gonna be a level of RNG required. I'm watching a playthrough right now, Sacred Stones, that is, everybody has 1 health. And it's like, I don't know, it's interesting because of some of those changes, but yeah, there's also times that I'm just like, we really just need good RNG on this, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like when it's one where they're not going to use save states or anything and they're playing through the actual full battles, and you can see that they've just played through the actual full battles, I've got a lot of respect for it, and I think it's interesting. I've never watched any where I...
Not stating.
Yeah, where it's like, I don't think I've watched that many Fire Emblem challenges where I watch it and I'm like, well, it's just waiting for RNG, or like, this doesn't, where it didn't interest me.
Oops.
That's
not what I wanted. I wanted to save.
That wasn't right. That was wrong. Heard that the Kraken fight is the first difficulty spike. Yeah, pretty much.
Unintentionally.
You can run into it earlier than you're supposed to,
and that's
literally everyone does on their first playthrough.
Yeah.
Although, I will say, even when I left the battle and then came back to it at the right time, it was still a difficulty spike because I didn't grind.
Mm-hmm.
If I had been grinding, which is just bad and unfun gameplay and no one should ever do it.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I want, really want. It's still much harder than the fights that precede it. Mainly because you just can't avoid taking damage. There is not much safe space.
There is not.
And it hits hard. I mean, everything in Shining Force 2 hits hard. When you can't avoid the damage, and Shining Force 2, I feel like for most of the game, you're in 2 to 3 shot range, it is a really difficult fight.
Mm-hmm. Trying to decide how to, like, deal with this now. Because, yeah, that bolt 2 to the face kind of hurt.
Yeah, that hurt a lot.
I mean, we're healing. We're gonna heal it off, but it's gonna take a minute. And then I really don't want to take another of those from this other guy.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I would agree with Captain. I think the Kraken fight is probably one of the biggest difficulty spikes in the franchise.
Yeah. Very much so.
Shining Force 2 has a couple of big difficulty spikes, but the Kraken fight is a really big one. And I think the reason the Kraken fight is such a big difficulty spike in my mind is there's no way to avoid the difficulty of it.
No.
Like, the Marionette fight in Shining Force 1 is really notorious, but also he can't cast at one range. So you can just avoid the main thing that makes that fight hard.
Yeah, but a new player would never know that or assume that.
No, a new player would not know that. But I feel like the thing with the Kraken fight is the only way to make it not hard is by explicitly grinding beforehand. There's nothing you can change about your play style to make it easier. Where even the other fights in Shining Force 2 that I think are too hard and or difficulty spikes, there are things you can change about your play style to make them easier. Like the chess battle, I really hate. I think is overtuned for its place in the story, but you can do things that make it a lot easier.
I wasn't even thinking about that one, but yeah, that's a good point.
I specifically hate the chess battle. Well, it's like I talked about. Pretty much every iconic battle in Shining Force 2 is a notable difficulty spike.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of the ones that people talk about as being super memorable is extra hard. Yeah, just not quite in range. Is Ray gonna die?
No. He hasn't moved yet. So I could just pull him back.
Didn't know Freeze didn't have one range until he played Kendon. Yeah, it doesn't. Freeze 3 and 4 can't hit at one range. And people don't really realize it. But that is how it works.
Needs to go.
Because usually you're not casting spells at one range, so it never matters, but you can use that to blind spot the marionette. And that's pretty much how I always fight him now. It's the only...
I'm trying to get this guy killed off so I can get Barato up there. Because I don't want us to take another freeze to the face. I think...
No?
Okay, with the crit, that might have gotten us there. Because I think Barato and Rhett can both reach. Yeah, the move range of these knights is just... I'm never gonna get used to it. Oh, he's got 640 health. Yeah, we're not gonna one-shot.
No.
1, 2, 3. I mean... Don't miss. Thank you.
Alright. So he got a cool 93 HP.
I mean, he's got good accuracy, right? 255, yeah, actually he does.
Yeah, he is very strong.
We'll just heal up. Our people that need it. So, in 94, I think, when this was coming out, what Shining Forces were out?
In 94, I want to say Shining Force 2 was 95. Let me see.
I'm starting to kind of think about, like, how I feel about this game as we're coming up on the end of the content for it.
Oh, no, Shining Force 2 was 93, so Shining Force 2 was out.
Okay. And what Fire Emblems were out?
CD came out in 94.
Okay.
Shining Force... I'm pretty sure CD came out before this in 94, because I think this was the end of 94.
Because I'm trying to think about, like, how do I compare this to what Fire Emblems and Shining Forces were out?
Let me pick a random Fire Emblem. I'll pick 4. 4 came out in 96.
Okay.
3 came out in... No, not 3 Houses. Fire Emblem 3. What?
Mystery of the Emblem.
Mystery of the Emblem. I don't want 3 Houses. That came out in 94 as well. So we were up to Fire Emblem 3 and Shining Force CD.
Okay. How do we rank... How do we feel like this stacks up? I obviously think Shining Force is better. Fire Emblem probably is too. But, like...
I've not played 1 through 3, so I have no idea.
I've played 1 a little bit. I don't know. It's interesting. Not sure what else to ask. That's all right. We're just hanging out. There's if you haven't joined my Discord, there's also like lots of people that are working on like Shining Force fan games and stuff, and I think those are pretty cool. We're all very into, you know, the channel is centrally built around Shining Force. This is just like a almost like a bootleg Shining Force. That's kind of how I felt about it at the start. Because I mean, we even use like their cast sound. It's just the spell cast sound is the same. They just ripped it. But yeah, I'm gonna say, like, from calling back to the very first time we streamed this, and Player Lynn, the guy that helped me find this game, like, in a playable state, I'm gonna disagree with his original assertion that there's not anything special about this, and maybe you don't need to play it. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's something special here.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of unique stuff, and I think it is worth playing. I definitely think there's problems, and I can understand why you wouldn't necessarily recommend this to a general audience.
I would not recommend it to a general audience. That is definitely true. Part of it is just that it's in Chinese, and, like, for a lot of people, like, it's crazy to me the amount of people that it's like, oh, there's subtitles? Not ever gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And this is, like, I think even more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It requires a little bit more.
Yeah, good night songs, by the way.
Yeah, thank you so much for dropping by, Songs. You've been really awesome to talk to. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, I think this is a game that I would recommend to, like, a hardcore strategy RPG fan who is looking for something
very
unique.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, if you're someone who's into the genre and you want to try something that is just different, whereas, like, what if you came at this genre you love from an entirely different angle? I think it's a very interesting game for a very particular audience.
A patient audience, which
a patient audience, yes.
The SRPG fandom, as much as that exists, is.
Mm-hmm.
I think just by nature that some of my friends have been like, I'm never gonna get into this genre because, like, it just is not that fast paced.
Yeah, and I understand that. Like, if you don't want to spend half an hour on a battle, it is not the genre for you.
Oh, it's not just that. It's that it's like, you know, for what you play mostly is Battlefield. Mm-hmm. Like, things are happening every second that you're reacting to. This, something happens, and Tyadran and I sit back and go,
yeah.
How are we gonna deal with this?
And that is very much the strategy genre. I think, like, the middle ground is something like XCOM E, where there's so few units, and the action is very intense.
Yeah.
This is very much on the slow-paced, thoughtful side of strategy RPGs.
Although, does XCOM have to have permadeath?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. There's probably mods to take it out, but I think it has to.
I would not recommend anything with permadeath to, like, a casual audience too much.
No.
Because that's just too much for them to deal with.
Yeah, but I mean, when I say I wouldn't recommend this to a general audience, I don't even think I would recommend this to a general SRPG audience. Like, if you're looking at, like, casual SRPG fans...
As much as that. I don't know that that's a thing that exists.
I mean, if you look at the people who are like, I really love Three Houses, I have no interest in playing the older Fire Emblems, they're hard and scary.
Yeah.
I would not recommend this to that audience. They might love the gameplay of Three Houses and like that strategy aspect, but they are not people I would recommend this game to.
Yeah, and the reason I say that too, just to cover my bases on that as well, is I really liked the way that retired YouTuber or content creator, he would really balk at me calling him a YouTuber. Harvester of Eyes, the way he put it, I think was really good, and that there's not that many just general SRPG genre fans. There's Fire Emblem fans, and there's Shining Force fans, and there's Final Fantasy Tactics fans.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, people don't branch out that much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, it's kind of... I think it is really rare that you have that. I think the only genre that tends to have they're fans of this genre and, like, anything kind of in the genre is fighting games.
I was gonna say shooters. I feel like any, like...
Also shooters, but that kind of depends, too, because it's like, where are you drawing the line on shooters? Because COD fans are not the same as, like, Overwatch fans. And those are both shooters.
No, it's sort of what the meta shooter is for, like, different audiences, I guess. Because I'm like, the Overwatch fans definitely, I think, probably have a lot of overlap with Valorant. And I don't think that has anything really to do with the quality of Valorant. I think it just has to do with, it's another, like, stylistic shooter that is big, and so you're gonna play it.
Yeah, but it's like, but I think about, there's plenty of people in like the fighting game space who are into like Street Fighter and also like Dragon Ball FighterZ, where it's like they are on such far ends of the spectrum as far as fighting game goes, and some of them like some of the 3D arena fighters, and it's like those are even a totally different genre, and you'll have people in the space who are into all of those. And I think it's because they are also fundamentally similar, and there's not a ton of them around, that it forms a space where it is like, if you like this genre, you kind of take what you can get. But yeah, I feel like it's true of most genres where you are not a fan of the genre. Like, you look at platformers,
Maybe right.
Usually people are either into Sonic or into Mario or I'm into Kid Chameleon, and that's my preferred platformer. And you don't have people who are like equally into all of those.
I mean, before I met you and talked to you, I would... Good luck, Robert. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up anytime. I love talking Shining Force stuff. And I'll be as vague or as specific as you would like me to be. The Shining Force community generally is pretty nice, and so anybody you ask really will, I think, be happy to help you out.
Just be clear that like what you do or don't want spoiled, because
yes,
people know a lot and are very happy to talk about it.
They are, and they will assume that you've played 1 and 2 a lot.
Also, they're games from the 90s, so a lot of people are not worried about spoiling them anymore.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be spoiled, you have to be specific.
Alright, we're gonna take a lot of bolts to the face, so I think we're just gonna charge this guy to stop that.
Yeah. So what was it? You were saying something before you met me, and I wasn't sure where that was going.
Oh, before I met you, I would have said that Kid Chameleon was like nobody's favorite game.
Man,
I would have
loved that
comfortably
game.
made that statement. And
It
now
was
that I've
my
met
number
you, I'm
2
like,
favorite game for a long time.
Not still.
It's really hard to say now because I've played other games I really like a lot.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say because I've played other games.
No, like I mean, even into like high school and the start of college, I would have called it my second favorite game. And I had played plenty of other games by that point. But now I've played other games that I have very strong feelings about, and it kind of makes it murky. Like, Undertale's up there, Final Fantasy XIV is up there. The Shining Force is still my very favorite, although now it's like, now that I played Shining Force 3, I really like that game, so that's kind of up there. So it's just become, I can't make an ordered list of my favorite games anymore like I used to, because it's like, well, here's like 10 games I feel really strongly about for different reasons, and I love all of them. So, I don't know, it's tied for number 2 with like 8 other games at this point, but, you know, I don't feel like I could really fairly order it because I like them all for different reasons.
I see Captain too, I wanted to say that. Says, I resent that. I find all of them equally frustrating. It took me a minute to get to that, but I also, when it first popped up, I wasn't sure what you meant.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether you were talking about the shooters or the fighting games, because those were the 2 genres we were talking about at the time. And I can see both those being genres that are frustrating people. Like, shooters frustrate me. I can't stand playing shooters.
I mean, yeah.
I'm really bad at them. It's for the same reason I don't play RTS games, where I don't have the reaction time and, like, the thinking under pressure.
I really like RTS games casually. Like, that might be my second favorite genre.
I will
and
play...
I've played very few of them as well, so I don't know if I can really say that. But...
I generally don't like real-time games in general, which is also odd that I'm a big fighting game fan, because I'm really bad at them because of the whole reaction time issue. I just think they're neat, I guess, but I'm really bad at them.
Well, fighting games is another one for me that I'm like, I also enjoy that casually. We've talked about that some off-stream, that like, I like playing with with a friend's IRL a little bit, and then anytime that I buy a new fighting game, which is pretty rare, I'm like, oh, this will be fun. I'll like, you know, the problem I think that fighting games have for me is that there's a massive disparity between the top level computers and real people.
Yeah, it's true.
I will crush the top level computers into oblivion to the point that it's not that fun. And I'll be like, alright, I'll jump online and play for a little bit. And then it's like, oh, there's people that play this and nothing else.
Yeah.
And they just rock me, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of the difference tends to be that they make computer opponents hard by having them block everything, and real-life opponents are hard because they hit you with everything. Like, a very hard computer that just blocks a lot, you can chip through it eventually, but a human player that's just going to go aggro and completely destroy you, you can only do so much against that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to be good at a genre to enjoy it, so long as you have fun with it. Who cares how good you are? I'd like you to have a word with the fighting game community I left because of how toxic they were about viewing me as a good player.
Do you want to say which one or not?
No.
Okay. I'm not gonna pressure you.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just I was pressured out of a community because of the way I was treated as a good player, and
good in quotes.
Being good in quotes, that was viewed as a good player, and that became an achievement to beat me, which was not hard, and it made it really unfun to be a part of. So
I do think you don't have to be good at a genre to enjoy it, but it depends on, like, I think there's kind of if you want to just play a game by yourself, like, yeah, I think that's very true. But there's also a lot of games that aren't made for you to do that, and I would argue that fighting games are one of them, because, like, a lot of fighting games don't have enough content, in my opinion, that they're fun to play single player.
True,
for that
very
long.
true. I really like. I am one of those unique people who really likes to just go into training mode and sit there for like hours, and that's how I'll play a fighting game. Like, I've spent hundreds of hours in training mode of games I like, but that is not the usual player. That's because I really like fighting game engines and mechanics and just messing with things. That is not the usual person. Because I know you and I both played the Shining fighting game. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Shining
Resonance, Blade from Arcus.
Yeah, Blade from Arcus Battle Arena. We'll like, each keep adding one more word to the title.
Yeah, when we add enough word soup, it'll be a real Shining game. But like, we've both played it. We probably spent approximately the same amount of time. You've beaten the story mode. I never even touched it. I just played training mode the entire time I touched the game.
Yeah, I
was like, I jumped into it and I'm like, all right, I want to just learn how this game works. And you jumped in and were like, I'm gonna beat this game.
Yeah,
and it's a very different angle.
100% story mode, which took like 10 hours, maybe less. And then was like, all right, I did what I set out to do. I've seen what this game has, and I'm done.
Yeah, so it's like our takes on what we want in single player from a fighting game is so different. Where I'm happy with the bare bones, but it is definitely not what most people want, and it's not really enough.
I know a guy who loves fighting games, but all he does is take two CPU opponents and watch them fight each other. And you know what? Fair. If that's all you want to do, like, I'm not knocking that, but I would not have fun doing that. Not for very long. Oh, hello.
Yeah, I think that if you, like...
Did we lose Barado?
I don't think so.
Nope. Close.
It makes me remember how there was a YouTube series somebody did a while back with Smash Bros. Where they would take two of the amiibos and do like tournaments of the CPUs fighting each other.
Z.
Maybe it was him.
Yeah, he's
But
fun.
like, when you add commentary and stuff to it, it makes it fun, but just the act of watching two computers fight is not generally my favorite thing.
Oh, they would put like bets. He also did Smash Bros. Has online spectating.
Yes.
So he would like spectate matches.
I remember that.
And like take bets and stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, those were good videos.
Not monetary bets, by the way. It was stuff like, if Cloud loses too many times, I have to like cosplay as Cloud for like $5 or something, and so it would just be
understandable.
garbage.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I get what Captain said too. He said, I meant SRPGs. My top 5 games in the genre all come from different series. See, I have, like, all these weird, arbitrary, like, I've talked about, like, the autistic parts of my brain before. And, like, tier lists and stuff like that. I have this weird, like, I have all these weird criteria for certain things. Like, for games, in my top 10, I only allow myself to have one from each series. And I'm much more interested in, like, talking about what series are my top 10. And I can talk about favorite entry, but...
See, I think the thing for me is when I think about favorite games and stuff, I find it hard to compare games between each other. Like, I struggle to compare it. So it's like when people ask what I like better about, like, what I need to find words. When people ask whether I prefer Shining Force or Fire Emblem, and it's where I have to sit down, it's like, well, I like different things. It's complicated. It's where I can't pick like a Fire Emblem game and say whether it's better or worse than a Shining Force game. I can compare two Fire Emblem games. I can compare two Shining Force games. But when it's like, if I had to make an objective list of, well, not objective, subjective list of how I feel about a bunch of different games, it's really hard for me to compare unrelated games to each other, even if they're the same genre.
Yeah, I try to look at, like, people balk when I use the term, like, objective, but, like, I try to find objectiveness in these things. That's, like, it really is just, like, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
And that is what determines a lot of it.
I think part of it's, like, I kind of feel like it's my job as somebody who makes games to understand. Oh, oof. To understand what's good or bad about a game outside of my subjective feelings about it. So I try to take a very nuanced and as objective as possible view of any game I play.
Yeah.
As much as I have distaste for, like, Fortnite, I should understand why and have, like, some respect for why people enjoy it.
Yes. And fundamentally, it's like, I don't think that Fortnite is, like, because I dislike it, I also am not really into it. I don't think it's a bad... Oh, we gotta up those cycles.
Oh, yeah. Get us fast.
I don't think it's a bad game. It's just that the people that enjoy Fortnite are looking for things that I'm not looking for.
Yeah. Very, very much the case.
Hey, Johnny Graphics. Gave up on trying to quantify a criteria for favorite games a long time ago. I just like what I like, I guess. Yeah, I get that, but there's, like, some things that I think can also be quantified. It just depends.
Yeah, because I think, like, thinking about Fortnite and looking for different things than what those people are looking for, if I sit here and I'm like, what do I look for in a third-person shooter? Like, what's a third-person shooter I enjoy? And I'm like, I like Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PS2.
I was literally gonna say the same thing.
Like, that's one I actually enjoy quite a bit. But it's a very different experience, and it serves an audience that's seeking different things.
Yes.
And I think part of...
my experience with that was also different than Fortnite I think ever could be, because I played it very commonly against a friend that was slightly better than me. He wasn't, like, way better. He was definitely better than me, but only a little bit. So, like, my win-loss was, like, at worst, 65, like, 45.
Yeah.
Or however the math on that works out. You know what I mean? So it was, like, acceptable win-loss ratio, and then the people I was playing with were not that sweaty. We were, like, bantering back and forth, trying to have some fun. Fortnite, people get sweaty.
Yeah, I think that's part of my weirdness with fighting games too, is like, I really enjoy them when you've got the banter and the camaraderie of playing in person, and I really don't play online because you lose that.
Almost like a Muso game? Yes, which I also adore. Actually, that's my second favorite genre. I wasn't thinking about that. Those are easily my second favorite. After this. And I used to be like, that's really weird, like, that, you know, this is, like, highly, like, engaging for the brain, and that one, a lot of the times, is zone out. But I started to realize that it's, like, it does have a lot of the similar things that I like. It's very character-focused. There's definitely a sense of, like, I'm playing this character, I get a level up, numbers go burr. And it's about subject matter that I guess I like more than I realized, or I'm fascinated by more than I realized. It's about sprawling warfare and lots of characters and how they react to that. And also, there's massive casts, and sometimes you recruit characters that have 2 lines, and then they never speak again.
Yeah.
Maybe this speaks to the overly analytical way I see the world, but I'd see comparing SF and FE as a challenge, not an impossibility. Yes, I also agree with that. It's not impossible, but there's certain things as well that it's kind of like, you know, you could go to the subjectivity thing as well of like, Shining Force, you walk around the map and visit towns and talk with people, and do you want to do that? And how, like, I love doing that in Shining Force, and I do it in 3 houses because I have to, but man, is it a drag in 3 houses, and I really don't like it.
Yeah, and playing, like, replaying Awakening, as I have been over on my stream, it's kind of been, like, thinking about the walking around. I really enjoy the walking around the world building of Shining Force. I think it's a much better way to deliver a story and, like, a narrative I have investment in than the cutscenes that Fire Emblem's always done, where it's like you got the cutscene before the battle and after the battle. But then if what I want in the moment is like, I just want to play some tactical battles, I know I can pick up Fire Emblem and jump straight into the actual gameplay of doing a fight. And they both fulfill very different needs. Where if I want to sit down and get invested in the story and experience the whole world, then, you know, Shining Force is what I want to play. But if I just want to get in and do a bunch of hardcore tactical combat, I'd much rather play Fire Emblem.
For me, it varies, but something that I think about sometimes is, and maybe it's worth a video on its own entirely at some point, I'm sure it is what is the optimal, like, distance between battles? Because there's definitely games in both Fire Emblem and Shining Force that it's like, that distance gets pretty long. And then there's games like, I've not played it, but I've listened to people talk about Triangle Strategy. That they're like, man, you're doing like 2 hours of dialogue between each fight sometimes. And I'm like, if it's a good story, I'm cool with that. But like, that is also definitely also a mood. That's like, am I good with that?
Yeah,
depends on the mood.
It depends on how I'm feeling. Like, if I want to sit down and, you know, I'm going to sit here and I want to spend 5 hours playing this game right now, then that might be what I want. But that's not always what I want.
Also, if you're curious, like, what my weird things are, like I said, I do it with everything. Because I'm like, I have my top 10 favorite games, and I only... Oh, he moves. Okay, he didn't used to. I only allow 1 per series. And, like I said, usually I talk more about the series that I'm into. Because that just, like, is more relevant, I think, the way I organize my brain. But it's, like, for music as well. Like, if I want to do, like, favorite bands and organize that in my head, you must have at least 2 albums out to kind of prove that, like, it's not, like, a one-off.
Oh,
and that, like, I like your band because I need, like, some consistent goodness. Otherwise, I just like the album.
Yeah, I agree. I think the weird thing for me is liking bands is almost like a new thing for me to an extent, because like growing up I listened to the bands and like music that my parents had, and I enjoy it. Like those are still groups that I enjoy to this day, but it wasn't, you know, like I was going out and seeking music. And then I spent a long phase where what I would listen to is kind of stuff that would come up in my YouTube recommended, and it would be like, here's this one song from this one band, and this is all I've ever heard from them, and I have not sought out anything else from them. I just let this be the only song I know. And it's only within like probably the past 3 or 4 years that I've actually gone and listened to bands and like a whole album of theirs. Ever. So
I've
it's
always...
almost a new thing to me to have bands where I'm like, I enjoy Clutch. Like, that's a band I like. Because I never really had that before.
I consume albums like games, in that if it's an artist I really care about, or even one that I think I might, I sit down and I listen to the entire album beginning to end. Because to me, it's like, you know, they didn't just put this together willy-nilly. Like, they have it organized this way for a reason, and songs flow together in certain ways, and it's like a whole work of art.
You want to know an album that I would recommend to you, just from hearing that you like that?
Sure.
Polygondwana Land.
Bless you.
By King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Okay, yeah, I'm aware of them. I've not really dove into them.
Yeah, Polygondwana Land was the first one I listened to of theirs, and it's very much like an hour-long musical experience with no real breaks between songs. It's just kind of, you finish listening and you're like, oh, a song ended? I really like it. I also think it's really cool that they just released it public domain, so you can just use it for stuff if you want. Which is also, there's another band I recently have started to like, Good Kid, which all of their music they let you use on streams and videos and stuff, which is just a real cool way to be. So I use that as my background music when I do like game dev streams.
Oh, oops, that's not what I thought it was. That's fine.
Oops.
Yeah, a lot of my favorite artists don't mind that kind of thing, because I mean, it's just that's the lay of the land these days.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with him just attacking Rat. Like, it could be a lot worse. We're making progress. I don't know if we get defense from this. I bet not, but like I do it anyway, just because. Battlefront. Yeah. Oh wait, I already read that. I remember going back to PS2 Battlefront years later after years of playing COD, and sniper rifles are good. Yes, they are. I liked playing the sniper a lot. The elite rifle for the like regular trooper, though, is definitely the best thing you can have. It like has a triple shot, and it's just stupid good.
Although I really prefer the regular gun over the triple shot, actually.
Really?
I find myself having more success with it, yeah.
I think the DPS of the other one, though, is much higher.
The DPS is definitely higher, but I struggle to use it. Because I'm really bad at shooters, so my aim is bad. So I'm better with a spray and pray gun than something that takes any kind of aiming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where, you know, I could just hold down the fire button, and Battlefront 2's got some amount of aim assist, and that works.
Muso games make my brain very happy. Fate Extella Linked is excellent. Yeah, I've not played that one. I've not been into... I haven't, like, jumped into Fate. I have some friends that really like it, though. But yeah, I love that subgenre. It's very, very fun. And it's great couch co-op. Which I really like. We're slowly working him down.
Eventually.
Might attack with Kaya here just to stack more damage. Thought he could take that maybe a little bit better. What's your defense? 211? I'm gonna take that even better. I think you have his health though. I'm feeling that we don't have the Saints here, because, like, I don't know who to tank with other than Rhett.
Yeah. I mean, possibly Ray. I'm sure he has good defense, too.
Yeah, a couple do, but, like, I don't have my Blue Marshal Saint that was, like, the clear answer.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, you know, maybe that's fine. Like, I'm using more of my brain.
The other 90% or whatever.
Muso games are lovely dopamine hits. Original Hyrule Warriors is on the top of my list right now. It's very good. It is very much what I wanted Fire Emblem Warriors to be. That was like... I still have like a redonkulous amount of hours in Fire Emblem Warriors. I haven't 100%ed it yet, but like close. Like in all the challenge maps and stuff, but I really wanted that game to be what Hyrule Warriors was. just a celebration of everything.
Oh, this is so shake.
Hmm?
I'm working on my Shining Force 1 mod, and this code spaghetti is spaghettiing.
I see.
I'm doing some stuff I've never messed with before, and I don't know that anyone has, so... I've done some weird stuff here. You'll see some stuff you've never seen before.
He's in heal mode. No, that's
hopefully
good.
that means we're low, though. Yeah, because he doesn't... Oh, yeah, because we found out the cap on healing is definitely lower than 20%.
Yes. I think it's 20% until you get to a certain amount. Do we want to talk about, like, what next week is going to be?
We could.
Alright, since we're beating this, what we're doing next week is going to be very special. Captain, your lovely neighborhood captain, has made another challenge map for the channel, which I'm really stoked about. He actually finished it a while ago, and I just hadn't gotten to it yet, and I feel really terrible about that still. So I've apologized a bunch, but I still feel really bad. And then Tyadran is working on a Shining challenge map as well, or puzzle map. I don't know what you would call it.
I'd call it probably a puzzle map.
And I'm real excited about that as well. So that's going to be what we're doing on stream next week. Next Thursday. So he should heal again, I think. I'm gonna just save again. So yeah, I'm really stoked for that. We're gonna make a big thing out of it.
Should be interesting.
Fire Emblem Warriors was kind of a letdown after the massive game Hyrule Warriors was. They don't have multiple weapons per character, despite that being the entire point of promotions, and God, missed opportunities. I didn't need multiple weapons per character. I just needed more movesets than were in the game. There was way too many clones. And then, like, I think the entire way they went about it was wrong, because they talked about, like, saving fan-favorite characters like Hector and Roy for the sequel that, like, they don't know that they're ever gonna get.
Yeah, that's a bit iffy.
So I think that was a bad decision. Hey, we got visible health. The map also pushes the editor pretty hard. Not effectively. The spaghetti does flow out of the bowl a bit, but I leaned into it and it should be fun. Awesome. You need a heal. Let's see. I don't think we need to get the kill with anybody specific. Alright, let's, Milana probably has it here. Yep! Flame Dragon Knights defeated.
Woo!
Thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. It has been a lot of fun.
What a game.
Alright. Oh, okay. That's a lot of dialogue. Alright. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Yep, let me pull it up here.
Red, you win. Let's do it.
Okay. Then you should wake up. I don't
know.
Fully... You should snap out of it, I'm guessing.
Something like that. Were you her last time?
I don't know.
Okay.
She looks weird. She says, wait. For you guys that don't have the script in front of you, that is Annie. That is Loga's wife that was taken by Hutch.
Annie, are you okay?
Loga, I am fortunately, I guess. Prince Rhett, please don't hurt me. My eldest brother Hutch, he was controlled by Dis's spell. It messed with his mind. So, he's also like Ray. He was also controlled by Dis? Yes. When my eldest brother was first cursed, he was still awake for a period of time. At that time, he already felt that the situation was serious, and asked me to rush to Pandala Mountain. Is that the pandas from WoW?
Something like that.
I asked the saint for help. Unexpectedly, I was discovered by Dis, who sent people to chase me all the way. I had luckily escaped, but I lost all my memories because of a severe head injury. Later, Hutch passed by and saved me.
So that's it.
And how did you restore those memories again?
At first, Dis used the power of darkness to find the whereabouts of Prince Ret through evil methods. At that time, he also discovered my existence. When he sent troops to capture Prince Ret in the name of my eldest brother, he also secretly ordered Lacoste to kill me. Fortunately, Lacoste still thought of my eldest brother. Not only did he tell me of my true identity, he also took me back to the palace without telling Dis, so that we could get to know each other as brother and sister. Fortunately, Dis was busy dealing with Prince Ret's affairs and didn't notice. Okay, so we're adding to Lacoste's lore too, and like making him a little more nuanced.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So that's it. Then... Oh wait, nope, I'm reading the wrong part. I didn't expect that. This evil-doing Lacoste would do such a thing. Now, the real culprit, Dis, has been killed, and my eldest brother also has woken up when you did that. In the battle just now, he did not fight with all his strengths. He just fought because he wants to die. Before you came in, he asked me not to stop him, so that he could atone. But how can I let my eldest brother, who's been accused of treason, admit to this injustice and die?
That's enough, Annie. Since everything happened because of me, allow me to accept the punishment I deserve and go to comfort the late king's spirit in heaven.
Oh, this may be that it may be that it's all just God's will. Brother, I
understand, Red. Just do what you want. Just do what you want to, or do what your heart tells you to, or something.
Yeah, I would take that as like trust your gut. What?
Went through that dialogue real fast. You got a red line there.
Oh yeah. Hutch, the evidence of your treason is conclusive, and your crime is unpardonable. But I think you were controlled by Dis and couldn't help it. So,
What's going on?
I feel a great evil aura spreading very quickly. Sonic! No. Could it be that the great evil god is about to be resurrected because the seal has been lifted? Well, that's troublesome. Then how do we stop the great evil god from resurrecting? Even now, we have to rely on the power of the flame dragon and the black dragon to create and maintain the sealed power. Although I know how to cast the holy... What? I know how to cast the spell, Holy Evil Forbidden Curse, but...
Holy Evil Forbidden Curse. That's like the most anime spell name I've ever heard.
Yeah? I just checked chat. I know I don't usually, but it's a long dialogue, so I'll keep checking back. Tell me what you guys think about this.
But what?
Someone must wear the 2 sets of equipment. Using their will during casting to maintain the balance of these 2 forces so that they will not cause the destruction of both parties due to a conflict of overly powerful forces. But these 2 people will also... Sorry if that was super convoluted. I guess he needs 2 people to wear the equipment.
2 strong-willed people who can withstand their power and not be destroyed by it.
That is to say, 2 people must be sacrificed.
No matter. Before I lost my memory, my hands were already stained with blood. I can die without regrets. But Red...
Brother, If you can use me, it's worth it to exchange your life for the peace of the whole world.
He probably means to exchange his life, like his own.
Yeah, I think so.
Prince Rhett.
Hmm? Ah, brother. Did you knock... What? How did you knock out His Highness Rhett, is what it says. I'm assuming that's where you
I think Hutch just knocked out Red.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. That is what happened.
Don't worry, I don't mean him any harm. Prince Rhett, you still must lead everyone and continue to govern the kingdom of Rotia, I think.
I think we've been saying Rotidia.
Have we?
The kingdom of Rotidia. The
Your
kingdom
kingdom.
of Rotini. Leave this task of exchanging peace to me.
Big brother, you...
And in the battle just now, I originally wanted my own death to apologize for the things I have done. Now that I have this opportunity to repay my debt, I may die peacefully.
Brother.
Hutch, since you've decided to put on Rhett's flame dragon armor, I believe my father will forgive you. As for the management of the kingdom, it is more important that we leave it to Rhett.
I really wonder whose line this is. Oh, it's Sonic.
Sony K.
Yeah, it says Sony K. It is no longer a matter of time. Are you ready?
Everyone, although we haven't been together for long, I will always remember you.
I'm gonna check the chat real quick. I feel like the devs at FDK were secretly crazy. So like making
Possibly.
the Chaos Breaker, but armor and with blood sacrifice. Neat. I like that you make it sound, I think, a lot cooler than it is, Fireroy.
Yeah.
This is like a more normal ending. Yes.
A bit, yeah. I like how the non-canon ending is the more sane one.
Yeah. This is you.
I already gave his line.
I'll always remember you.
Okay.
I already did that line.
Okay. Ray, accept this amulet. This is the treasure of our elves. I hope you will especially remember me.
Lena just falls for everyone.
Yeah, this is like, again, like what?
Thank you, Lena. If there's an afterlife, I hope we can get together again. If you know what I mean. Annie, your older brother is leaving. I hope you can make well enough on your own with your beloved husband forever. I leave you with my blessing.
Eldest brother.
Annie, don't cry. Now that your brother is benevolent, he can make up for his past mistakes.
Honestly, hell of a play by Hutch. Yeah, this is very lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not fair, but I don't know. I'm like, how do I know they played Shining Force? You know, maybe they didn't even know about it, and then I'm like, they used the sound effects.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, they definitely were aware. Yeah. I also, you think it's I leave you with my blessing? Because it just says bless you, and I'm like...
Well, when
I don't
he
know.
says, I hope you can get along with your beloved husband forever, it feels like something like that to me.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I also like that now that your brother is benevolent, he can make up for his past
Yeah.
mistake. It's like...
I think I leave you with my blessing is easier to interpret than bless you.
I'll go with that.
Either one's fine. I just felt like it read better.
Yeah, I'm also just I don't know how I feel about Loga being like, he can make up for his past mistakes. I don't know, it's almost like the Shining Force 2, like, he's old, he doesn't matter anyway. This is like, he was evil,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
don't
no,
know.
now he's benevolent.
Yeah, it's just odd. Okay, let's begin. Gods who are high above the heavens. Oh, I probably should let me slow the cycles down so that these cutscenes don't play at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, let's begin. Gods who are high above the heavens, please listen to my prayer, and turn these two forces of good and evil into the power of sealing demons.
And I don't see a line for Elio here.
Oh, in my script I also don't.
Like, And this line literally is not here in the dialogue. I don't see it.
Can you use your phone?
No, I changed. Oh, like on the. Let me see. Let me find out what Elio says.
I came back just in time, lol. Yes, you did, Tizwar. We're using our phone translation on this, because it's not in either of our scripts from the 2 different sources we're using.
Yeah. It be the way it be. Translate.
I hope it doesn't say playing the game